Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, October 23, 2022, and giving you our match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Washington Wizards. It is going to be difficult for Cleveland to compete with Washington without having a healthy roster. Garland and Mitchell will be one of the best backcourt duos in the NBA when they are both on the court, but Garland could miss this game. Washington has looked as good as expected through its first two games with a healthy lineup, as Beal and Kuzma are an excellent duo of their own. The Wizards are also in a better scheduling spot as they had the day off on Saturday. Cleveland is on the back end of a back-to-back, which becomes an even bigger deal early in the season. Washington has given bettors no reason to fade them thus far. Our team pick is Washington plus 3.5 points. Has the much better roster, the Cavs are still working out their rotations and figuring out their chemistry with Mitchell. Cleveland struggled defensively at times against the Raptors, giving up 32 points in the fourth quarter of their season-opening loss, and Washington has shooters like Beal, Kuzma, and Porzingis. The Wizards also have a solid second unit with Barton, Gafford, and Hachimura. This should be an up-tempo game, and neither team has shown they can consistently defend at a high level yet so far this season. Mitchell looked good in the season opener, scoring 31 points, and Cleveland scored 105 points against Toronto in the first game of the season, without Lavert or Garland having a good game. The Cavs should have no problem scoring in this game. Take the over 216.5 points. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Minnesota Timberwolves. These two teams met in the season opener for both, so they are already familiar with one another this season. The Timberwolves won by 7 on the home court after being favored by 11 points. This time around they are a 7.5-point favorite on the road. It is hard to beat a team twice in a row, let alone 6 times in a row, which this would be if the Wolves win. But in this case, I like the Wolves. OKC played late Saturday night and then had to head back home for this game, while the Wolves had a night off. After being upset by a lesser team Friday, no way they lose to this Thunder team. Take Minnesota giving up the points. Our team pick is Minnesota minus 7.5 points. The Minnesota Timberwolves look to bounce back from a loss when hosting the Oklahoma City Thunder on Sunday. Minnesota is 1-1 following its 132-126 loss to the Utah Jazz in overtime on Friday night. The leading scorer for Minnesota was Anthony Edwards with 30 points, but the Timberwolves committed 20 turnovers, compared to only 13 for Utah. D'Angelo Russell is the leading scorer for Minnesota, with an average of 21.5 points per game, while Anthony Edwards is a close second, with an average of 20.5 points per game. Rudy Gobert is the leading rebounder with an average of 19.5 rebounds per game, and Karl Anthony Towns is the leader in assists, with an average of 4.5 per game. Minnesota is shooting 43.8% overall and 29.6% from three-point territory. Oklahoma City completes a back-to-back on Sunday when hosting Minnesota after playing on the road Saturday against the Denver Nuggets. Oklahoma City is 0-1 following its 115-108 loss to Minnesota in the opening game of the season on Wednesday. Oklahoma City shot only 38.4% overall and 31.1% from three-point territory in its opening night loss. After one game of the regular season, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is leading Oklahoma City in scoring and assists, with 32 points and 5 assists, while Josh Giddey is the second leading scorer and the leading rebounder with 14.6 and 11 rebounds. 5 players scored in double figures in Oklahoma City's opening night loss. Oklahoma City must improve on its poor shooting on opening night. Our total pick is under 223 points. Golden State Warriors vs Sacramento Kings. I will be hammering the Golden State Warriors, minus 8.5 at home against the Kings, as the Warriors bouncing back in this game. They've struggled on the defensive side of the floor to begin this season, but I see their offense carrying them in this one. They currently have the 12th highest adjusted offensive rating, and they are scoring the 3rd most points per game. They are extremely tough to slow down, as they have multiple weapons that they can give the ball. They have Curry, Thompson, Green, and now Jordan Poole, as I see them scoring throughout this entire game. The Kings are allowing the 20th most points, and they have struggled to stop their opponents from behind the arc. This is a kiss of death against the Warriors, as they are still one of the best shooting teams in the NBA. They don't leave points at the free throw line, and they have the 12th highest shooting percentage so far this season. They will efficiently put the ball in the basket and slowly pull away from the Kings. Sacramento also has the 21st highest adjusted offensive rating, as once the Warriors lock in on Fox, the Kings will have trouble. They also struggled at the charity stripe in Game 1, and they are only averaging 108 points per game. They won't be able to keep up with the Warriors, as they will slowly fall behind. The Warriors will want to bounce back after their loss to the Nuggets. Pick Golden State and lay the points, minus 8.5. Although Golden State is scoring an average of 123 points per game and allowing an average of 118.5 points per game, when the Warriors meet Sacramento on the court, the total has finished under in 7 of the last 10. Sacramento will play its second game in as many days, and that could affect their shooting, and are likely to play less up-tempo. The total has finished under in 4 of Golden State's last 7 games, and in 5 of the last 7 games that Golden State has played during the month of October. Take the under 231 points. Clippers vs Phoenix Suns. This is a regular season game early in the year, but Los Angeles is going to be buzzing on Sunday night. The Clippers have a chance to return to relevancy as a title contender this season, now that they have their key players back. This will be their home opener, and Wall Leonard are going to be rested after sitting out on Saturday night. Phoenix is on the road for the 2nd straight game and is coming off an emotional overtime thriller. The Clippers will be the more motivated team on Sunday night, so I am going to back them in this game. Our team pick is Clippers minus 2 points. Thanks to the solid Clippers defense and the mediocre scoring ability of both teams, I like the under to hit. Both teams have favorable trends supporting the underplay. The Clippers were able to hold off the Lakers in their opening game this season, winning 103-97. The Clippers were hot out of the gates, scoring 35 in the first quarter, but the Lakers answered with a big second quarter of their own. The Clippers were steady in the second half and held off a late try by the Lakers. John Wall had an impressive showing for the Clippers, as he tallied 15 points in 25 minutes. Paul George matched that point total, as the two were tied for the team lead. George also added 9 rebounds as he nearly tallied his first double-double of the season. Kawhi Leonard also shined in his return to the court. He had 14 points and 7 rebounds. Marcus Morris and Ivan Zubac also had 14 points, with Zubac leading the team in rebounds with 17. Mr. Three-Point Man picked up where he left off, as Luke Kennard was a perfect 3/3 from deep off the bench and finished with 11 points. However, it is unfortunate news for the Clippers as Kawhi Leonard and John Wall are both listed as out per ESPN's injury report, so we will learn more about their status soon. The under would be even more favorable if Leonard and or Wall are out. Over the last 12 games between the two, the under is 10-2. Look for the Clippers' stingy defense cause problems for Booker and his crew. Take the under 219 points.